lot of you have a lot of questions on how I create my imagery, how I create all my content. He is the guy behind the lens who shoots all my pictures and videos, and you always keep asking me a lot of questions for him. So I thought, why not directly get him in between the Blogging 101 series and have just a special tete-a-tete. I got him off from behind the camera and said, let's just do an impromptu video. And Piyush, how do you feel about going impromptu suddenly?
I did not sign up for this. I didn't sign for this. Yeah, I'm wearing a Ghar Ka t-shirt, you know.
It's okay. It's okay. Bloggers mainly, maybe I'm wearing just pajamas underneath. I'm not okay. I'm wearing jeans, but generally a lot of us wear a nice top and then we wear pajamas below and we sit. And that is the truth. If you know, a lot of bloggers will agree with me. But that is the real truth. You can't help that. Okay, so starting with some fun questions with Piyush. Piyush,
Okay.
how is it working with me? I want to know.
It's great, but right now it's not. I'm feeling
Because
weird.
I got him off from over the camera.
Yeah, I think I recorded my own video 2 times, but that was not weird because there was nobody in the room. But now you are there, but still I'm feeling a little weird. But I think I should get used to it.
Yes, so I'm helping you get used to yourself with others in the frame.
Yeah,
So,
and in my videos I do a lot of jump cuts. Okay, I take out a lot of incorrect things in my videos when I talk. But with Ritcha, I just press a button and I just press it other time just to end it. It's a one take thing. So
thank you. I like working with Piyush because he makes me feel confident about my camera speaking skills. And I think that's a very important feature. He's a great motivator. So that's a very good thing about him. To work with him means you're constantly being motivated. And I like to work with such people, obviously, because you need to be told. But yes, he does tell me what's wrong, what's not good. But he's a great motivator. And that's the good thing to work with him. And Piyush, tell basics that a new blogger would need to know in terms of, when they are taking a photographer on board
Okay.
to work with them. What would be the few things they need to check or keep in mind?
first of all, what I believe is regardless what kind of pictures that person is taking, look at the fact that the person that you're working with should be good and should be right enough, regardless what camera and the pictures that he's taking. Followed by second thing should be
You mean nature or you mean as a person?
Nature as a person, that matters
So
a lot.
meet them once before you start working with them
Yeah,
to
just-
get an
yeah,
idea
yeah,
of
yeah.
what kind of a person they
Yeah,
are.
yeah,
It's
because,
important, right?
Because I heard so many models complaining that Piyush, we randomly decided to shoot with this one person, one photographer, and then that person was like very unprofessional and a lot of problems during shooting and after the shooting.
So
So-
a phone conversation is not really the way, guys. Probably just try and plan a meeting first to know the photographer.
Yeah.
More than his work, meet the person. And I think I do that with a lot of people. And I think
Right. I think even I do that a lot. Hardly very few cases where I just shot directly to a person, but I've talked a lot, and that's very important. And
probably
because
you've taken references from others who worked with them,
Yeah,
asking
yeah.
them about the kind of person they are or
Completely.
whatever. So
References.
safety,
Yeah.
in a way, security of the kind of content you're going to
Yeah,
create with them. So that's very important.
And second thing is look at the aesthetics that a person has in his feed or in his images. Aesthetics are very important. Don't get washed by the effects and the tones being used and
The filters.
Yeah, the typical filters and editing that's done. Look at how good the picture is and not how good the editing is and all those things. I think a good picture matters a lot than editing and other things.
Right.
And third thing, one thing you have to be aware of is the guy who is very confident to sell himself. Like he can sell himself very properly. The guy who's like sounding very confident, that particular place you have to double cross check it, because that's what I do. If somebody sounds very confident in his work, I should check it out properly, and it does create problems at times for sure.
So you're saying that, you're saying that probably when we are getting photographers on board to work with us, the ones who say, oh, I create really great images, or this
Yeah.
person talks good about me, or on his profile
Yeah.
probably there are few great words written about himself. Those kind of people
Yeah.
are overconfident, is what you're saying. So
overconfident, and you will not know when you get into the net of that overconfident guy. And you may feel good, even after you get the images, you may feel, oh, I've got a very good picture, but believe me, that might be just an average picture. But you're just kind of, the word is make believe. So that guy does this make believe thing to you, and that should not happen for sure.
Okay, got it. So newbies and budding bloggers, here's advice from one of the best photographers I've ever worked with. So keep that in mind, and you see my content, he creates it. So, we've also talked a lot about our content, and so that's how it goes. Okay, so talking about content, Piyush, when a blogger and a photographer work together, you know, people, a lot of times, a lot of people tell me कि, you know, ब्लॉगर है, मैं ब्लॉगर हूँ, मैं जा रही हूँ इसके साथ काम करने, बट यू नो द फोटोग्राफर शुड नो व्हाट टू शूट, यू नो, लाइक इन दैट सेंस, और दे शुड बी एबल टू टेल देम कि वो हमें बताएगा हमको क्या करना है. इज दैट द राइट वे टू गो?
I hope I understood the question right. It's a very simple answer. Imagine a burger or a vada pav. As simple as a burger or vada pav. Imagine the vada is very tasty, but the pav is not good. And imagine the pav is really good, but the vada sucks like big time. In short, both have to understand their own role in the pictures. It should not be like, you know, okay, you know, he's a good photographer and he'll take good pictures, so just throw everything at him, you know, okay, this is this product, and just shoot everything. So that should not happen.
So the bloggers should have involvement, the bloggers should have their inputs, right?
End of the day, a photographer is just a guy with a camera who will take good pictures. He'll understand the light and aesthetics properly, but the idea, it comes from within of the content creator. That is the blogger, so that matters a lot.
And that's how the blogger's content will differentiate from another blogger's, right? Because that blogger's unique input will be there.
Yes, like, right. You know, for example, I work with so many bloggers, influencers, models, regardless, you know. I'm creating different images with everybody because of the person being different. It's not me who's different. It's okay, it's the person who's different.
Right.
And one more thing is, suppose, for example, this is very important. For example, I perform at 100%, or let's call it 100%. I perform at 100%, but it depends on the other person. If he can push me beyond that 100, if he can get 200, 300, 500, 1000, the benefit is of that person who is able to extract more from me. So I think that does not mean physically pushing me to do things. It's just more of getting the ideas right. But for that, for a person to push me to 200 or 1000 or 500, the other person has to be 10,000. You know, that's very important.
Right.
So otherwise it will not. So
Great. New bloggers, budding bloggers, even bloggers in the industry existing, please, you know, there are times when we get saturated and we run out of ideas, but then take a break so that you can reboot yourself, come back with fresh ideas, and then get your photographers to execute them. It would be better because, like I said, your own unique touch comes in, and that's how your content differentiates from someone else. So that's there. Also, Piyush, this is a very vital question for mommy bloggers. You know, it's not easy shooting with kids, right?
Yeah,
like,
it is not.
You shoot with me, you shoot with Yuvika, you shoot with Arya and Inaya,
completely.
You shoot with us, and you know, the kids can be troublesome. So when it comes to you know, getting a photographer on board to shoot with kids, you know, what is the patience levels that the mother should have and the photographer should have?
I think there are two ways when a kid gets not friendly when you're doing something or when you're working.
So tips for photographers probably, you know, more than bloggers, that how should you handle mommy bloggers and their kids?
I think there's no tip. It's just that you just have to be patient as I understand. There's a child, and so I hope it is not taken in a different way, but the way I view kids is different. I think for kids, you know, nothing else matters to them. उनको कुछ लेना देना नहीं रहता है, regardless whatever deadline you're facing or whatever. So you just have to just be patient and just do your thing. Just be patient. With kids, you just can't push them and get things done. You rather be friends with them first. I think being friends with them first is important. I think when I'm working with Inaya and Arya, I actually feel happy. You know, it's not, you know, कि वो उसको मुझे shoot करना है, ऐसा नहीं हो कि I'm taking a picture of her. You know, so it should be like taking a picture of a friend. And I think if you're friends with kids, I think you get rewarded like that Kinder Joy that I got rewarded with today.
Because she knows that she gets it when it's a treat. So she gave it to you when you did something good. So that's the whole thing, how you get rewarded. Yeah,
and today was like a big promotion for me in terms of friendship, because I would tell her,
two Kinder Joy.
I would tell you that I want that Kinder Joy, and she never let me even touch it. And today, you know, कि उसने खुद ने आके bag में भर दिया, which was like, it felt great, right? I mean,
so make sure that your kids get friendly with the photographer. Also make sure that your photographers have the patience to deal with your kids, and do not give up on your kids if someday they don't want to shoot. Piyush and I have gone through
first shoot.
Our very first shoot, Arya refused to shoot and Piyush had to go back. She was throwing a tantrum. We tried 2-3 hours. So while she looks a happy kid, she can be difficult. All kids can be difficult, they're kids. But don't lose patience with your kids. Give them, you know, the time to get comfortable with the photographer. Give them time to be happy in front of the camera, and I'm sure with the photographer you will be able to churn out great content.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah.
what works. Okay, Piyush, one simple question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think in terms of visual content does the blogging world currently lack?
Hey, Bhagwan. Okay, this is like a big question because I honestly don't know a lot of names, brands, whatever you want to call it.
But you're aware because you work with a lot of us, so you know, probably you come across a lot of content, and you know, what is it that you feel that people need to put more effort for? Let me put it like that.
So when I take a picture, I follow this rule. If I take a picture, when I'm taking a picture, I look at the picture and I visualize the person in the picture is me, and I'll ask myself a simple question: will I like this picture if I'm that person? So it can be applied to anything, right from a portrait to a model to a blogging scenario to a wedding to anything. As long as you think that the other person will like the picture, and in terms of if you're working with brand or maybe for a campaign, then you have to think of if that person who's handling the campaign will like the picture. I hope I answered the question right.
Right. So
I don't
place yourself in the picture or the visual,
Yeah.
and see if you would be happy seeing yourself in it.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
or at
so
at
that's
as a
from a
brand, yeah.
photographer's angle, right? But say from what you see how bloggers are creating content, where do you think we are still lacking?
Oh, and I think
No,
again,
like basic.
yeah,
I don't want to know
yeah,
hi-fi.
yeah,
See, we are
but-
not there yet. We are just, the
Yeah.
blogging is still nascent in
but
India.
you know,
But what is it that in terms of quality of content people are lacking, and where can they improve in simple ways?
one simple thing I think we should follow, which I personally follow, is I have a lot of friends who are photographers. I have a lot of friends who are content creators, but I try to avoid. I follow them. I check out their pictures because they're friends of mine, but not as a photographer. What happens is what we look. Looking is a consumption, by the way. So if you're looking at something, you're visually consuming something. So as a
Right.
blogger, if you're consuming something else that's already been done, then you're just gonna repeat it.
Right.
So the more that comes from your within, the more that comes from your thought process is very important.
Hmm.
Am I getting the answer right? I don't know.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So I think it's just that if you look at something else and you try to do that, you're not creating something original. Something that comes from within definitely helps you a lot. Yeah,
Something
I
which is you, something
Yeah,
which is
something,
your
yeah, yeah.
style. So you're seeing a lot of people copying content, or you're seeing repeats of what someone is creating. You see the same thing on somebody else's feed.
So I'll give an example in my field, which is photography. So if I just open Instagram right now and I just type portrait photographer on that, I will see every other picture is looking the same. That is because people are just thinking, okay, people are thinking that this tone is in trend, this kind of pictures are in trend.
Like those
and they're-
orange tones everybody is using.
yeah.
I personally,
Yeah, completely.
I'm not a big fan of that orange
Completely,
tone on
completely.
everybody's feed.
So I think talking about orange color, Larissa is a very good friend, and
Yes.
she uses a lot of orange. But what I know is she's a graphic. Like I look at her as a graphic designer because she was a graphic designer and an artist in my college. So then it's a different thing because she's an artist and she's making that orange by her own. But
Right.
other people were okay,
Yeah, so
she's
it's
making
personalized.
orange,
So then it
it's
suits
personal,
you.
yeah.
Whereas just buying a preset and applying it
Yeah.
for the heck of applying it.
Yeah, and for example, my images have a lot of blue tone in it. So if other people are looking at the images and think, oh, you know what, I want to copy this blue tone, I think blue tone looks good, maybe it will not work good for them because it's not coming from within. So
Right.
I think things have to come from within, and that's where then even a normal picture will look good, even a phone picture will look good, and any normal idea will look good because it's original. So I think
So-
what the world lacks right now is originality and simplicity. I think
People are getting
Yeah.
too complicated in their
you don't
pictures.
need, you
It
don't have
can
to be.
just be simple.
And I believe simplicity is the most rare thing today right now. So yeah.
Yes, I think so too.
Am I getting
but-
philosophical? Philosophical, I guess.
No, that's a good
Yeah.
part about you.
Hmm.
We get to talk like this, so that's
Oh,
the
man.
fun part.
Slowly, this conversation will go to like a philosophical thing.
No, we won't let it go there.
No.
We'll keep it sweet and short for
Mhm.
these guys. So guys, you heard Piyush give you a lot of tips. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to open my comments for questions today. For whatever you want to shoot at Piyush, I will be shooting another episode with him in a few weeks where he will answer your questions.
Mhm.
Okay, Piyush? So
Okay.
that's a challenge you're taking to yourself. For now, I hope
I didn't
These-
know this was happening.
I just pulled him out from behind the camera while we were shooting just to have an impromptu session for you guys. I hope you guys have liked this session. I loved chatting with him. I always love chatting with him.
Yeah, even I like chatting with her, but not like this. But it's okay. I'm happy that.
No,
this
these are
thing's happening
helping
here.
people, so I think that's good. And what I'm trying to do through my blogging 101 series is help people. And
Right.
if partners like you can help, then why not? That's the whole purpose.
Definitely.
And do shoot your questions below. I'll be shooting another episode with Piyush very, very soon with the camera there in front of us and us chatting. And we will answer all your questions. Keep them crisp, keep them not too lengthy, and keep them precise, because then it'll be easier to answer them.
Yeah, because I'll be giving a lengthy answer to everything.
So yeah. So thank you for watching, and Piyush, thank you for coming in front of the camera.
Thank you. Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
Okay, bye guys.
Bye.